Hello, beautiful friends, and welcome to my series about Venus in all 12 houses. Thank you for journeying with me with this series. Now, you'll find as you watch this video that it is divided into two parts. The first section of the video is exploring the nature of Venus mythologically, astronomically, and of course, astrologically. So all those components will be explored here through a video that I did some years ago when I was a lot younger that was talking about all these things. So I've inserted that piece into this video for you to enjoy. But if you're here just to find out about the houses, then you can skip to the second part of the video, which is exploring the effects of beautiful Venus in each house of the horoscope. So I do hope you enjoy both components and get something out of it that can apply to your life. May I also encourage you, if you haven't done so already, to check out the lead video in this series, which is looking at Venus karmically and through an evolutionary astrology or karmic astrology lens to ascertain how Venus affects our relationships based on the journey of our soul over many lifetimes. This is a fantastic video. I'm actually quite chuffed about it, quite proud of it. So I do hope you have the time to go to the lead video in this series in the playlist and check out that video all about karmic Venus and its influence. And now, without any further ado, let us dive into the mythology, the astronomy, and the astrology of the beautiful planet in the night sky, Venus. So I thought I'd start by taking a little bit of a peek at what Venus actually represents. Now, in astronomy, not astrology, but in astronomy, the astronomy of the planet Venus, she's the only planet that can shine so brightly that she can cause shadows on Earth. Now, the moon does as a reflection of the sun's light. We know that happens. You can be out on a very strong moonlit night and see shadows and play of light that's actually quite beautiful. But the only planet that can do this is actually Venus, interestingly enough. And so sometimes she is just so bright in the sky. She's the brightest entity in the sky aside from the sun and moon. Sometimes she can be so bright that she causes shadows. That's only occasionally, but she can do it. One thing about Venus is that she rotates so slowly in the sky that she takes 234 Earth days to do one single rotation. As such, she actually has the slowest rotation of any planet in the whole solar system. And she is the hottest planet in the solar system. Even though Mercury is closer to the sun, due to the dense clouds of sulfur dioxide on planet Venus, any heat from the sun is trapped within those clouds and her thin atmosphere, causing the heat of the planet to be just so much hotter than Mercury, even though Mercury is in much closer proximity. So she is the hottest planet in the solar system as well. And of course, those of us who did our grade 5 astronomy lessons know that Venus sits as the second planet in the solar system, the second planet from the sun. You've got the sun, and then you've got Mercury, and then there's Venus, and then Earth. And she is considered also to be something of a sister planet to the Earth, as they're similar in size. So she's the nearest planet to Earth, and that's why she shines so brightly in the sky, not the star. Now, the mythology of Venus is also very interesting. The name Venus is the ancient Roman name for the goddess of love and beauty. In Greek, it was Aphrodite. So in Greco-Roman mythology, they share similar characteristics and similar qualities. So both Aphrodite and Venus, they governed fertility, romance, prosperity, and victory as well, interestingly. She was worshipped in many temples and many festivals all throughout Rome and as Aphrodite in Greece. And some people, including Julius Caesar, even considered her to be the ancestor of the Roman people. Of course, he'd attach himself to somebody as glorious as Aphrodite or Venus, wouldn't he? Now, some mythological legends say that Venus was the daughter of the gods Zeus and Dione, There are some other legends, though, that say that she was birthed from the sea, not from a god itself, but birthed from the sea after Uranus was castrated by his son Saturn. So essentially, to get kind of gross here, hope you've got the M rating on this particular video, but Saturn castrated his father Kronos in mythology, otherwise known as Uranus, and from that castrated member that fell to earth into the oceans of Gaia, the earth, there arose out of the sea foam of that dismemberment the goddess Venus. So fascinating mythology there. I do want to talk a little more about the mythology of Venus, but at a later point, where we look at her mythology around being the morning and the evening star. So I'm going to explore that for you. Stay tuned for a little bit later in the video for that aspect of her mythology. But in astrology, Venus tells us about our enjoyment of pleasurable and beautiful things. She tells us about our love relationships, our connections with others. The things we need to live a comfortable life are also seen from Venus in a tangible sense. You know, our shoes, our clothes, our food, our cars, our shelter, all those nice, lovely things that we like to acquire to make life more comfortable for us. So wherever Venus sits in our chart is going to tell us all about how we interact with these ideas: love, beauty, pleasure, possessions, things we need to support our journey through life, refinement, sophistication, and women as well, seen through Venus, particularly young women. So wherever Venus sits in the chart, whatever sign, is going to tell us a lot about the dynamic that we have with those elements. Venus rules the sign of Taurus and Libra, and they're both very different signs, but they do, both of them carry a quality of beauty about them, a quality of pleasure, a quality of interaction and relationship. I'll compare the two of them for you just so that you know the great gamut of characteristics that Venus actually rules. Taurus is this very earthly, natural beauty. Taurus correlates to the natural realm of Earth, and so butterflies essentially, but also forests and, you know, generally speaking, the things of nature like the animals and the flora, fauna, and, you know, rivers and lakes and mountains and just the earth and being in nature is Venus in a general sense. Venus also correlates through Taurus to money, making money, the tangible things, like I said before, that we need to support our journey through life, like pleasurable things, yummy food, going out to a restaurant and eating at a lovely food, and clothing, shopping, beauty therapies, beauty treatments. These are seen through the sign of Taurus and Venus's rulership of the sign of Taurus. It's also self-love that we associate with the energy of Taurus as well. The ability to feel safe, to be secure, is seen through Taurus. Venus rules Libra as well. Now Libra, as opposed to Taurus's type of beauty, which is that natural, earthy kind of beauty, we might think, something we want to touch, something we want to hug, something we want to be close to and be a part of even. We might even compare it to, say, the beauty of Marilyn Monroe, which, you know, men wanted to hold her, women wanted to be her. There is this desirability factor with the beauty of Marilyn Monroe, very Taurian. Not so much natural, she was bleached blonde and everything, but she had that desirability, sensuality factor of Taurus. Libra, on the other hand, is more the Grace Kelly type of beauty. You just admire it. My God, it's breathtaking. Look how beautiful and elegant she is. That's Libran beauty. It's not so tactile. It's not so touch focused. It is more, let's say, adoration focused. So it's that kind of sophisticated, classic, refined beauty that we see through the sign of Libra, also ruled by Venus. Libra is also ruled by Venus, and it covers things like diplomacy, fairness, equality, making harmony and balance a priority. It's the peacemaker. It's like I said, harmonizing situations, harmonizing interactions between people. All these are seen through the sign of Libra, and Libra rules relationships. Not just the tactile, sensual, let's get down to the nitty-gritty kind of stuff of Taurus, but more the I love you, I'm committed to you, beyond the touch, taste, see, hear, and smell. I am in a love, intimacy bond with you, we see through the sign of Libra that Venus rules. It's also business partnerships. It's quite a business-oriented sign, Libra. And so it connects to those things as well. And our interactions with the other, anyone else, can be seen. Our relationships are seen through Libra, ruled by Venus. Now, Venus is, if you want to use an archetypal image, she's like this beautiful goddess or a beautiful woman. She is a feminine energy, or an ancient goddess full of this wonderful self-love, because she is very, very connected to the idea of self-love. You must be in love with the self, and then you have something to offer others. All of us, even men, will have Venus in the chart somewhere. And because of this, we have Venus in our hearts. We have a love of beauty somewhere tucked away in us. We have a love of giving love and receiving love to some capacity within us. Venus teaches us to love the beauty in other people, no matter what it looks like, how different it is to us. By really embodying the full self-love component of Venus, we learn to love the beauty in others, whatever that shape that takes, and we allow ourselves to be loved and to be uniquely beautiful as well when we fully embrace the energy and the beauty of Venus. Quite a fabulous, adorable little planet. When Venus is in the 4th house, well, this is a beautiful placement to have in the 4th house. It's lovely to have Venus here. I believe Venus has excellent directional strength in the 4th house. That's in the Vedic system. Your home, when you've got this placement, will be beautifully decorated with a sense of balance and aesthetics. Venus can give beautiful homes and property. Even if not ostentatious and grand, you can easily manifest in your life sweet, beautiful, tasteful homes. And Venus is not a planet of many things, but what you do have will be lovely. So you can find love in the home environment. You know, you might fall in love with someone from your home tribe, community, someone that you know from your childhood even, or someone with a similar upbringing to you. You might fall in love with someone actually in your home. You might invite friends around for a barbecue. They bring their cousin who's in town visiting, and lo and behold, in your own house, you fall in love with your future partner, that kind of thing. Quite beautiful. Now, a man with this placement obviously is going to be looking for a partner who embodies the 4th house qualities. So having similar background, similar roots, feeling comfortable, that's a 4th house thing, so you'll feel comfortable together. There's probably a wanting to start a family that a man might feel towards a woman, and it might be mutual when the Venus is in the 4th house of a man's chart. He's going to fall in love with a naturally nurturing type of woman or man. You know, we're going to be very all-encompassing here. But the partner a man is looking to fall in love with will be a nurturing type person. And the person, woman or man, that the man falls in love with will be a man's anchor for happiness in life, which is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to have. Lovely for a man to have Venus in the 4th house if they're a family-oriented kind of guy, obviously. And he will be with a placement like this. This is the strongest house placement for Venus in Vedic astrology. As I said, it has excellent directional strength here. So your mother is seen through the 4th house as well. And of course, with Venus here, she might have been quite beautiful. She could have been artistic. She could have been a lover of pleasure, good times, fine things. She might have had a career in a Venusian industry, fashion, art, design, food, all those things we've mentioned earlier. There would have been a lot of love flowing around the family when you were a child with this placement, because the 4th house is, as I've said, in Western astrology, our heritage, our roots, our lineage, and Venus here brings love to our heritage, love to our roots. What is our heritage and our roots? Our family life is seen here. So your early family life would have had beautiful Venusian qualities, and indeed you can create a family life that is equally as beautiful with a placement like this. You'll create a beautiful family, if you want a family, of course. Now, there's, like I said, a beautiful childhood full of pleasant memories, or an easy childhood, and maybe a very pleasurable foundation in life. And you will seek to recreate this, as I said, in your own family life. Now, in the not in the whole sign astrology system, but in the Campanus system, I have Venus in this placement, and I've often having done many past life regressions and seeing some quite horrible lives when I've done past life regressions, I have come to the conclusion that the fact that I have Venus in the 4th house in the Campana system was because my soul needed a rest from some really horrific childhoods that I've seen. And so I'm very grateful that my childhood was beautiful, very safe, very secure, very pleasurable and delightful. All of these things that we're talking about with Venus in the 4th house. And so, yeah, it's it doesn't mean that you're not going to have a sense that, the rug could be pulled out from under you at any moment. Maybe you've had past lives where that was the case. And so that energy might still be present in you, but it might be a gift to your soul to recover, for example's sake, to have a 4th house Venus placement. And like I said, you will seek to recreate that kind of experience, a beautiful, pleasurable childhood for your own children when you become, and if you become, a parent. You can be very emotionally affectionate and kind with Venus in the 4th house. Your sense of stability, seen from the 4th house, will come from being surrounded by beauty, having a comfortable home, being loved by your family, and receiving and giving kindness. Gorgeous placement, as we've said, for Venus. So you can receive financial support from your family in life, unless there are mitigating factors in your chart elsewhere. But there will be a strong sense of self-worth, Venus's self-worth, that can come from your family. A strong sense of knowing who you are, and a strong sense of I am worthy, I am valuable, that comes from your family and your upbringing, your heritage, your roots, and your lineage. Venus also shows where we can invest and make money from, and also what we choose to spend a lot of money on. And here in the 4th house, obviously, we might invest money in homes and properties and real estate and land development and so on. Gardening might be a sort of an investment for us, or a source of making money for us. But also we can spend money on our home, on our decor, on our domestic experience, our domestic life, on our garden, food, on our lovely vehicles. We can spend money on, being a good parent, creating memories for our children to have a good childhood. That's where our money can go. Now, in the 4th house, well, the 4th house, as we've already talked about, is in other videos, is seen as the second part of life, the second stage of life, after the maturation of Saturn, sort of in our mid-30s, and then moving into our early 40s. The second part of life kind of starts around the early 40s, 41, 42. In the second part of life, you can find true love. So that doesn't mean you won't have a relationship prior to that. I'm feeling a bit choked up as I'm sharing this, to be honest, because I feel that is definitely the case. Definitely the case. So you can still have relationships prior to the second stage of life beginning for you when you have Venus in the 4th house. But the true love, the true soul connection, the true partner tends to come in the latter part. So I'm not, it's up to you. If you want to wait around for that true love to come, you can. Or if you'd like to have a few experiences first while you wait, go right ahead. But that's what we see here. Now, that doesn't mean also that if you're married prior to sort of age 41, 42, that your partner is not your true love. But it might not be until you reach that second stage of life that you feel a sense of, oh my gosh, you are the love of my life. I know we've built a family and a home together and done all this stuff already, but I didn't realize until now just how deeply, how fully I love you and what you mean to me. So in the second part of life, love, true love comes, whatever shape or form that might be for your circumstances. In the second part of life, living, like where we live is seen through the 4th house, one of the placements we look for where we live. And in the second part of life, you might live in more beautiful surroundings. You might have a more beautiful home than you've had before. You might garner more money from land and properties in the second stage of life. Second part of life, 4th house, Venus here. And when Venus is in the 4th house, it says that you will end your life with your partner. You will live the latter part of life with somebody you love. Now, if you've got this placement, you might be dabbing tears of joy away from your eyes, as I am right now. It is a gorgeous placement, as we said. She's not the great benefic, but she is a benefic planet, Venus. To have her in her house of great directional strength is really, truly a blessing, especially as we get older in life.